1 in every 4 Coloradans will experience a mental health or substance use disorder this year. Most don't even seek treatment. Mental Health Colorado works to make sure every Coloradan receives the mental health care that they deserve. President and CEO of Mental Health Colorado, Andrew Romanoff, joins us now with more. It's good to have you on the show.
Thanks, Denise.
Can you please explain what Mental Health Colorado is? You're an advocacy group.
Sure, yeah. We consider ourselves the state's leading advocate for the prevention and treatment of mental health and substance use disorders. And you're right, this is a cause that touches every single family in Colorado, including mine. And most folks are not getting the care they need. We want to change that.
You mentioned including yours. Why did you get involved with this?
So a couple reasons. My mom, when I was growing up, was a social worker. My dad was a prosecutor. I tell people it's not a combination I recommend. They got divorced.
Exactly.
But it does tell you something about where you might want to tackle mental illness. So my mom worked at a state mental hospital trying to help people get the care they needed. My dad saw some of the same folks who didn't get the care they needed when they ended up living on the streets or running afoul of the law. And turning our criminal justice system into the chief source of treatment for mental illness and substance use disorders is probably the least therapeutic and most expensive decision we could make. A little closer to home, I lost my closest relative to suicide almost exactly 2 years ago because in part I think of a mental illness that she suffered and didn't get detected or diagnosed or treated.
And that is true. In some of the points here, 1 million Coloradans experience mental health disease or an illness, but they won't seek out help. So what are your key priorities this year?
Yeah, well, that's one. So prevention and screening and early intervention are essential. What we know is that in most cases, not all, but in most cases of mental illness, the symptoms usually appear during adolescence. Half the cases by the age of 14, 3/4 of the cases by the age of 24. But there's a delay, a gap between the onset of symptoms and the arrival of treatment. That gap lasts on average for 8 to 10 years. So we're trying to close that gap and make universal screening, prevention, early intervention available to every Coloradan.
You have a LEAD workshop coming up. What are we going to experience?
Right, so LEAD stands for Legislative Education and Advocacy Day. It's an annual tradition for us. It's a chance for people to take a little deeper dive on some of these issues. We'll host a series of panels, forums, discussions on criminal justice, on mental illness, on prevention, on coverage and delivery with a group of experts. Engage the audience. The event takes place on March 10th at the Denver Police Protective Association. It's a modest cost. People get breakfast and lunch and, more importantly, I think a chance to explore these issues in more detail and to learn how they can make a difference.
There are so many positive stories, too. Would you mind sharing one that somebody's reached out, had help with Mental Health Colorado?
Sure, yeah. It's a really good point because I don't want folks to think that the coverage of mental illness always ends in suicide or death or incarceration. One of our own board members, a fellow named Evan Silverman, whose story is told on our website at mentalhealthcolorado.org. Evan experienced schizophrenia, has gotten hospitalized, but now is getting the treatment he needs, the medication, the therapy that he requires to live a happy and fulfilling and productive life. He's taken a job at Tattered Cover. He joined our board, and he's a terrific advocate for this cause.
That's wonderful. And yeah, we need not to be afraid about mental illness. We need more awareness. So that's wonderful you're offering that LEAD workshop. If you'd like to register, please, you can. You can go to the bottom of your screen. There's a website there for you, mentalhealthcolorado.org. Mentalhealthcolorado.org will give you more information, too. Now, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Do you have anything planned for awareness here in Colorado?
Screening. We think everybody ought to get screened. I did. And we put this series of tools on our website. If you go to mentalhealthcolorado.org/screenings, you'll find 9 self-assessments. These aren't formal diagnostic instruments. They're questionnaires that you can take for yourself confidentially to learn whether the symptoms you're experiencing might be early signs of depression or some other disorder. There's a tool for parents to take if they're worried about their kids. There's a screening tool for kids to take if they're worried about themselves. So it's mentalhealthcolorado.org/screenings, and we're encouraging everybody to get screened.
Thank you. I'm a true believer. We need to put more money in mental health and the awareness. So thank you. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Denise.
Okay, you can sign up for the LEAD workshop. Again, it's Friday, March 10th at the PPA Event Center in Denver. Breakfast and lunch will be served. Register online at mentalhealthcolorado.org. That's mentalhealthcolorado.org. You can also call 720-208-2233 for more information. Registration closes Wednesday, March 8th.